Death to Uber Pool here on a quest to help you make more money. Speaking of quest, videos all about those quest promotions and consecutive trips. Now, Uber's objective for you is to be on the road for, in Chicago, there's a 10-hour limit. So they want you on the road for 10 hours and they want you picking up every fare that they send your way. In order to bait you to do that, they send you these quest promotions and these consecutive trips. Now, in the past, the quest promotions used to be much better. You used to get $2, $3 per ride. And the consecutive trips was $10, $11, $12, $13 for every 3 trips. So you're making $3, $4 extra per trip. So, in the past, those quest promotions and those consecutive trips was like an added surge on the fares. So it made sense. Now, Uber is sending quest promotions where you pick up, 80 customers for $60. And they have said, it's public record now because, they all went public and all. It's public record now. Uber is trying to decrease the quest promotions because it's costing them a lot of money. They're decreasing the consecutive trips paid out to drivers because it's costing them a lot of money. And so they've done that. Now you make less. So my advice to you is stop chasing quest promotions and stop chasing those stupid consecutive trips where you're making $3 or $4 per 3 trips. Makes absolutely no sense. Here's why it doesn't make sense. Let's start with the consecutive trips. Let's say, and we all know consecutive trips usually come on during busy times. So in the middle of rush hour, Uber wants you to pick up 3 fares and they're going to give you $4. But in the middle of rush hour, there often is a surge happening. A $3, $4, $5, $6 surge per rider. Let's say you pick up a trip, and it takes you 45 minutes to get there, and there goes the 3 trips. You were just screwed. You picked up a 45-minute trip with a $4 surge, and you made $20 because they take you to the airport. Well, with the surge, you made maybe $25. On the other hand, let's say you're in rush hour, that 45-minute trip comes to you, and you decline. Well, why would you decline? Because the next trip that's going to come to you is a 10-minute trip with a $4 or $5 surge. And the trip after that is a 7-minute trip with a $4 or $5 surge. And the trip after that is another trip with surge. So in 30, 40 minutes, you've made $30 as opposed to taking that 45-minute trip because you were chasing the consecutive trip. And you made $25 going to the airport. But if you stayed in the city, you just made $30-something by taking 3 trips with surges. We all have, for the most part, the trip duration now. So, during the surges, why you would take a 45-minute trip, I don't understand. When you could take a 10-minute trip or a 15-minute trip. Just doesn't make any sense. Who it does make sense for is Uber. It makes a lot of sense for Uber because they want you to pick up every fare, regardless if that's going to be, economical for you or not. So those consecutive trips, nowadays, it's not worth it. I mean, even in the past, if there was on a consecutive trip, 3 fares for $12, $13, $14 during rush hour on those consecutive trips, I still wouldn't accept those 45-minute trips because it doesn't make sense. You'd make more money staying in the city. And the same thing goes for the quest promotions. It's not worth it. They want you to work way more for less amount of money. 80 trips, you make $60. That's 75 cents per trip. But what they want you to do is they want you to pick up every trip. And now the quest promotions are really bad. It's like pick up 100 trips and you get $80 or something like that. So, like I said, they want you on the road. They want you picking up every fare, but it just doesn't make sense. When you pick up every fare that Uber sends your way, you're probably going to average about $20 an hour. When you don't do that, and you're selective about the fares you pick, and you work smart, and you work when it's busy, you're going to be making $30, $40 an hour. Now, I'm going to include 2 screenshots here. One screenshot is me working like a Tuesday or Wednesday, and you're going to see that I worked 7 hours and I made $165. Really, I only made $150 because there was $15 in trips, and that's pretty rare. Uber customers don't tip that well. And for those of you that say you don't have good customer service, well, that's not true. I'm a 496, 497 star rated driver, so I mean, that's not the case. I mean, I have high ratings. And then the next screenshot that I'm going to put up is me working. It was a weekend day in Chicago. The weekends, it's surging like almost all day long. And on those days, I'm very selective on the fares that I pick up. I only pick up fares with surges. And in between trips, I turn off my app. If there's no surge, I'm not picking it up. I'll lay low somewhere, wait 10-15 minutes, surge comes back, boom, pick up a fare. And work my weekends that way. In the middle of a surge, Uber sends me a 45-minute trip, a 35-minute trip. I always reject those fares. I have a hard time staying at a 85% acceptance rate because I reject so many trips. But if I don't do that, how am I going to make $283 in 7 hours? And so, on busy days when it's surging, I'm very selective about when I pick up fares. I only pick up during surges. During the week, on a Tuesday or Wednesday, I'm really working just to bring my acceptance rate up so I could be ready for the weekend to reject 30, 40 fares to keep me at 85% or higher. So work smart. Work for yourself. Don't work for Uber. I mean, Uber is trying to make money, and they will make their money by screwing you. Especially on those long trips, those 45-minute trips, those airport trips. My God, for the life of me, I don't understand why people pick those trips up. You're in the middle of rush hour, there's a surge, $5-6 surge, and Uber sends you a 45-minute trip to O'Hare Airport, which is not 45 minutes, it's going to take you an hour. And when you dig into that fare, Uber is going to charge the customer $60, $70, and they're going to pay you $25. So Uber is royally screwing you, and it makes no sense, just off principle alone, why anybody would pick up a 45-minute trip when you know Uber is going to charge them double a rate and pay you 30% or 30% of what they charge the customer. So just off principle, stop picking up those long fares, those 45-minute trips. You're getting screwed. Especially when there's a surge. Trust me, you're going to make $20, $25 in less than an hour in the middle of rush hour if you don't accept that 45-minute trip that Uber fooled you into accepting by giving you a consecutive trip for $4.50. Work for yourself. Stop working for Uber. Figure out when the busy times are. Bring your acceptance rate up so you could start declining those stupid fares that don't make sense when it's surging. If you're in the middle of downtown and there's a $7 surge, why would you pick up a 25-minute trip? Decline, go on to the next trip, and I guarantee you it's going to be an 8-minute trip. If they send you another 30-minute trip, decline it. Wait for the next one. During the week, if you work, those are the days you're working to get your acceptance rate up. Get it up above 85%. Wait for the weekend, wait for the busy time, and be selective about the fares that you pick up. Because you're going to go from making $165 on a 7-hour day to making $283 on a 7-hour day. Big difference, from $20 an hour to $40 an hour. But it doesn't work that way if you're not selective about the trips you make. So be smart. You're going to put less wear and tear on your car. Be selective about when you work. Stop working for Uber. Work for yourself. That's the Uber Pool signing out.